Welcome to the story of the legendary Memory Castle. Once upon a time, in a land where words held magical power, there lived a young student named Alex, who dreamed of conquering the most challenging vocabulary test in the realm. As Alex approached the mystical castle of knowledge, a fierce storm began to abate and lessen. The howling winds that had terrorized travelers for days finally started to calm, just like how your fear of difficult words will soon disappear forever. But something aberrant, something abnormal and deviant, caught Alex's attention. A peculiar figure danced in the shadows, moving in ways that defied all logic, reminding us that extraordinary learning happens when we embrace the unusual. The massive castle doors stood in abeyance, in suspended action, frozen between open and closed, waiting for someone brave enough to enter. Alex stepped forward, heart pounding with anticipation. Inside the grand hall, Alex discovered Marcus, a former student who had once tried to abscond, to escape secretly, and hide from his studies, running away like a thief in the night. Marcus had been abstemious, sparing and temperate with his learning, barely tasting the feast of knowledge, when he could have devoured entire libraries. The castle's wise guardian would admonish and warn all visitors, saying, "Never adulterate, never make impure your mind with shortcuts and inferior methods. True vocabulary mastery is an aesthetic, an artistic and beautiful journey that transforms your very soul." Alex watched in amazement as Marcus began to aggregate, to gather and accumulate words with alacrity, with cheerful eagerness. Each new word seemed to alleviate and relieve his anxiety, and slowly they began to amalgamate, to combine and unite into an unstoppable vocabulary army. Suddenly, Marcus faced an ambiguous bass, an unclear and doubtful riddle that filled him with ambivalence, with conflicting emotions. He felt both excited and terrified, but instead of surrendering, he chose to ameliorate and improve his approach. An anachronism, something misplaced in time, appeared before them, a glowing smartphone materializing in this ancient castle, showing that timeless wisdom could flow through comparable modern methods. The castle had once been in anarchy, in complete disorder. But Marcus discovered that anomalous, abnormal, and irregular study techniques could create perfect harmony. He conquered his antipathy, his strong dislike toward challenging words, and transformed his apathy, his lack of caring, into blazing passion. The wise guardian appeased, soothed, and calmed Alex's fears, and apprised, informed both students of an ancient secret. Every word you master today appropriates, takes possession of a piece of your destined success. The journey ahead looked arduous, hard, and strenuous, but Alex remained artless, honest and genuine in dedication, pure as an ascetic, a self-denying monk devoted to enlightenment. Day by day, Alex became assiduous, became diligent in practice, and slowly all fears began to assuage, to ease and lessen. Confidence didn't attenuate, didn't become thinner, but grew mightier with each passing moment. With bold and daring courage, Alex faced the final challenge. The austere, the stern and simple castle walls echoed with triumph as our hero became autonomous, became independent and self-governing in learning. Finally, Alex could confidently declare, "I have transformed from someone who feared words into someone who commands them like magic." And so, dear listener, as you return from this enchanted journey, feel these words settling deep into your memory castle. Your brain is now programmed to crave this intoxicating feeling of word mastery. You'll find yourself returning to this story again and again, each time making these words more permanent in your mind. Remember, every time you experience this tale, your vocabulary power grows stronger. Your subconscious has already begun weaving these words into your very being. Subscribe now to join Alex's continuing adventures. Comment below with which word called to your soul. Share this magical story with someone who needs vocabulary confidence. Your future self will thank you for this moment of transformation, because these are stories so good, you'll never forget the words. The end, or perhaps, this is just your beginning.